Oh, you got a second to talk to?
Yeah, Jim, come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm working nights all by myself, and I'm the only ERT responder for the night shift.
Right.
And I'm kind of concerned about these batteries.
Oh, the lithium
batteries, yeah. And what our procedures are to respond to them.
I just got the new SOG on it. It's in the emergency response plan. Let me go get it. I'll be right back.
That'd be great.
All right. Here's that book, Jim.
Okay,
emergency
great.
response plan. Now, what are you concerned about?
If somebody drops one of those, what's the response for that?
All right, well, there's actually 3 different levels of response. So what you're talking about is a level 1 response. There's no liquid coming out of it. There's no venting, but they've fallen. We're not quite sure what the situation is.
Right, somebody just dropped it.
Yeah, okay. Well, what happens in the level 1 is you got the notification of you, the ERT. The safety engineer will be involved, and a security supervisor are paged out.
Okay.
All right, now as far as in that level 1 what you do
Right.
and what everybody else does, it goes right to the initial actions. Remember the incident command, we got the 4 goals of initial actions. We've got notification, identification, we got to isolate it, and then we got the protection of you and other people in the area.
Yep, I remember all that.
So as far as notification, security does most of that, but when you arrive on the scene, let them know that you're there and that you are now the IC. You're going to make all those initial assignments, getting the recon work, zoning, hazard control, and all that. So if it's just you on the night shift,
Right.
guess who's doing the most of it?
Me.
Yeah. So as far as identification, you got to do the recon. And if you follow a little farther down in isolation, it says to isolate the area for at least 25 feet in all directions.
Okay.
So that's initial isolation. Stay upwind, uphill, all those things are good practice. But the hot zone is only 6 feet. So you can actually get fairly close to it unless you notice something leaking or venting or some smoking or any kind of fire. That takes it right up to a level 2.
Okay.
So, and maybe a level 3 depending on if there's evacuation.
So if say drop this battery and there's no venting, leaking, fire, this is a level 1.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And if you're in a tight little area with it, this is going on and there's some venting, you might have to increase the hot zone, depending on your location. As far as protection, this just gets placed in a safe bin, something that won't carry a charge. And then it gets removed out of the building. And from there, we have a cleanup crew or somebody who takes care of it if they notice there's no damage after 48 hours.
What about equipment for me? Do I need any PPE for level 1?
At level 1, no, it doesn't show any PPE needed here. It's not leaking. It's just been dropped, and they want to make sure they're safe. If we move into a level 2, then we got to look more into the personal protection.
So we talked about level 1. What is it I can do at level 2 then?
All right, that's a good question. It says that the array module, the cells, vented as a result of excessive heating, allow them to cool at ambient temperatures before handling. It also says to ensure and maintain operation of the sprinkler system. So make sure those are up and running if they're being used. Okay. Do not touch or walk through the spilled material without your appropriate PPE.
Wait a minute. What PPE? You said I don't need any for...
Well, now when we get to this level, you're going to be near the product. So it goes back to our SOGs.
So what PPE is that?
Well, I just did a talk and run through with the hazard assessment with Hank.
Okay.
And let's pull that sheet out of the pre-plan book for hazmats. And we'll take a look at that and learn more about the product. And we'll know exactly what you can wear.
And the hazards?
It'll tell you about the hazards, and it'll also tell you what you're supposed to be wearing and what equipment you can.
So, hey, we talked about level 1 and level 2. I get that. What moves it to a level 3?
Level 3, description of event. Now, this is when the incident causes a plant-wide evacuation or that threatens the public health and safety. So what we have here is a really large response. You got the outside fire department coming in. You've got the Global Communication Center involved. Our own EOC is set up for the plant manager and all the upper echelon. You're going to be working with a unified command with the fire department as the IC.
Okay. All right, so I appreciate you doing this, and let me just ask you this. I think I got a grasp on it. So a level 1, again, is just a battery's been dropped, we respond there, no leaking, no fire, no venting. I don't need any PPE, and we can go through those procedures.
Right.
And then a level 2 is if there is some type of damage to the battery where it is leaking or venting or an incipient type fire, then, and I use the PPE that Hank talked about and you talked about, and follow our procedures, I'm good with that. Then a level 3 is when it's moving beyond, the incident's moving beyond what we can do as far as our levels of training. Fire department's coming in, EOC, all those other people you talked about, and then I'll just be part of the unified command.
That's correct. You got it. It's all right here. If you have any problems with it, we're going to train with this, Jim.
Okay.
But we'll come back to this if you need to in case of an emergency.
All right.
So you'll be filled in, but you got a good heads up on it now.
I appreciate it. That's what I needed to know.